Hi everyone, it's Kev's Magpies YouTube channel. Welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I'm going to be recapping the round 19 games. If you're returning Magpies, welcome. If you're new to the channel and you're watching this for the first time, welcome back. Welcome to your first recap. How I do this is I talk about the games and go straight into it. So can Port Adelaide beat Collingwood at Marvel Stadium? Or can my Pies get the job done? Can Carlton finally beat North Melbourne, make it 2 in a row? Or will North upset Carlton? Will the Brisbane Lions continue on their form at the Q Clash? Or will Gold Coast Suns keep up their performances? Can Melbourne beat the Western Bulldogs at the MCG, or does the Doggies have a good chance of winning? Can Adelaide win at Marvel Stadium, or will the Hawks finally get that confidence booster with the win over the Crows? Sunday's game is, can the Eagles get the job done at home, or will we see the Saints upsetting the Eagles? Sunday's game, may I go to it? Can the Swans beat Fremantle at Metricon? Or will the Dockers get a win in David Mundy's 350th game? Can the Cats make it 2 in a row against the Tigers, or will Richmond continue on their form from last week? Can the form of Essendon continue, or will we see the Giants winning again? Pretty simple. I'll go to Friday night. Friday night footy at Marvel shows you what you can do, and I did pick the Pies. I had confidence in them. I honestly thought we would not play Mason Cox as a medical sub, but the way that you see things as well and the way things are going, you could see what's happening. So 300 games for Travis Boak. Continues on winning form as well, as much as possible, because Port are up and down team. They don't beat the top 8 teams. If they were playing top 8 teams and beating them, or they were playing them, but they had to beat a couple of these sides, different tips. How I would have gone about it. Would have picked Port. But you see a lot in games like this. You really do. Now, Carlton and North Melbourne. What a win by North Melbourne. Question marks have been asked by North. A rebuild plus into 60 rebuild. So North Melbourne stuffed it up a little bit as well. To be honest, we did have a situation where they got rid of 4 players at the end of before the end of 2016. So they had the audacity to say, okay, we have to retire these because we've got to play the kids. They stuffed up their rebuild, and they admit they got that one wrong. So what they did was they had a look, and you go, alright, the form is there to probably play finals in 2018. Brad Scott, there's a little bit tensions on that. But you see that you see a little bit in that too. That they had to rebuild. They didn't want to admit that. And I think as well, you see a lot of this, like North had to start up their rebuild again, and because they picked, like they did what Carlton did, they had Rhys Shaw in as a caretaker interim coach, got the wins up, got the gig, but then 2020 started playing poorly, and I think that we're seeing this in David Teague as well, is that he's not the man for the job. Caretaker coaches really don't make good coaches at all, except for Paul Roos. You know, and you see that in a fair bit, that the coaches are the ones that take responsibility for the players. Like, they don't sack the 45 players, they only sack the coaches. Theoretically, that's how we see that happening with Carlton at the moment. They're not playing well. But just had a little bit snippet of David Teague's press conference. Made me angry. It's called, mate, they started their rebuild Carlton 2016. Because that's when Bolton came in for the third year. I heard rumours going around. The fact was that David Teague went behind Bolton's back and says, he can't coach, I want to coach. So they got the job for that, for that rebuild. And I think at the start it was about effort. It wasn't about, okay, the wins and losses. So if you can have that rebuild perfectly well, like you brought in the right players, you brought in some players from other clubs who's got that experience of playing. And I think what we see in Carlton's chances is that we don't see a lot. You know, we don't see a lot of wanting to work hard. If you work hard and want to win games of football, because that's, in the end, that's the industry that we're in. Coaches getting sacked, players retiring. I think this has been a terrible move by Carlton to give David Teague a job of what? You know, what did he have as a coach that impresses me as a fan? You know, it's like that. They don't care. The players don't care. Defensively, they're not working hard. The coaching isn't there. Something needs to change. Something needs to give at this football club. It's not 12 months from now. You have to make the decision. At least with Bolton, he got them in the rebuild. And I thought David Teague was a man that can spiking forward, but you can't have it on the run. Like, you got to look outside of your own people. And I think that's what people got to understand as well. Like, you can't just have people inside football clubs. And it's the same thing with Collingwood. The problem is, you have more Collingwood people in there, and it's just an arrogant club. It's just like, oh, we don't care, we don't have to do this. Only fucking, non-Collingwood people can get fucked. It's still like that situation. But in this case, the problem is, David Teague started North Melbourne, and he had a soft spot apparently in his press conference on a Thursday or Friday. Then, when he came at Carlton, he didn't really do much. And then he coached, I think, Adelaide and as assistant in 2017. That's only like one final swing, if he was there for that long. So you have to show that consistency of wanting to play finals and in coaching your own team. Or you've been in premierships as a player, like the Sam Mitchells, like the Luke Hodge, like the Jordan Rufford, like Michael Voss, Jason Ackermanis. These type of coaches, Lee Matthews, the same thing. You got to get these coaches in. Alistair Clarkson, I don't think he was as a player, but he has that edge. David Noble came from, working at Brisbane, helping them with their rebuild, and doing the same thing at North Melbourne. So you get your players in that can help your list out. But at least with North Melbourne, you can see the future. You see that they're getting pumped early. But you see what they wanted to do. And you see what the game plan is. You know exactly what the roles of the kids are. You're playing these kids and your senior players are stepping up as well. So you see a lot of how you want to play as a club. And I think in the press conference yesterday, we don't want to finish bottom. Now, I had North look bottom 2 in that range as well with Adelaide. The rebuild is there, right? We all know the rebuild is there. I know exactly what's going on. But the way that North played, they deserve a lot of credit. They really do. They show me grunt. They show me why that, you just can't. You know that North Melbourne are going to give effort every week. You can trust them. They're going to lose. They go down fighting. They don't play the structure of, okay, well, we know exactly how they're going to play. And it's just like, okay, well, it's going to be a grind. Teams like Essendon should be belting North Melbourne. But in the end, it proves to be a close game because North Melbourne are allowed to do that. The way that North Melbourne play, you have to be smarter than that. You got to get your game out going early on and then working through that. You don't see it enough, and I think that's the reason why I think the difference is because of that. As well, Carlton's rebuild, look, it's been terrible. I hear the motion of playing Charlie Curnow. Really? Really? You've played Charlie Curnow. Why? He's fucking... Why would you play him? He's not worth it. You gotta play him in the reserves. If you play him in the AFL, he gets injured, it's 12 months. So the same thing can be in the VFL. but manage his game time. He's been out for over a year. He hasn't been performing consistently well. That's the problem. Like, he hasn't played since, 2019. At least with that. So you have to be smart with that. And get games into these kids. Like, if you don't want to play Josh Harding, that will ruin the reputation. Play someone better always. I don't understand the logic behind Carlton. Play Murphy 300 games, get him up. No, that's not the standards that you should set as a football club. The standards of a football club should be, okay, I want to play, but it's not going to be at the expense of Eddie Betts playing shit. You have to say, mate, you can't play this year. We got to get games into these kids. I really want to see more of these kids. The more kids you play, the better, I think, in my opinion. The list is there to play finals. It's not. But they don't know what they're doing. Their game plan is not as what it should be in a top 8 sense. Like, it's not a top 8 team finishing 4 finals. Serious. Playing 2 or 3 grand finals and winning 1 or 2 of them out of 3. Whatever. You have to set standards. And this is why I see Collingwood have more standards than Carlton. Harry McKay, you can't just rely on Harry McKay to kick your goals. It doesn't work like that. You can't just have individual brilliance. You can't just rely on the death of a player to get your team over the line. So you can't just allow that to happen. It's not great for the team as well. It's not good for the team. So if we're going to be honest enough, Carlton ain't making finals this year. Certainly until they get rid of Teague and get Clarkson or line someone who has standards at a football club that you can go, wow, their standards, you know exactly what they're doing. The board needs to be looked at, so does the coaching staff. How you develop your players is more than what you got to do, as much as possible. Okay, enough about Carlton. I feel like I've been going on. Alright, Brisbane Lions, what a win at the Gabba. Played really well. Got the team over the line in Queensland. I feel like now I see what they're trying to achieve, and I like it. The strength around the footy, Joel Danaher and Oscar McInerney as well, seems to be working out really well. A 2-pronged tall forward line. Just got the job done, what they had to do. Had to come back and win it after half time, but you just know how Brisbane are going to play. West Coast had a really good win, 8-point win against St Kilda. As disappointing as Saints fans should be at this game, I think there's a lot of positives that you can say. Max King was good with 6 goals. And now it's all about seeing that consistency of once you play AFL footy, you get that going as much as possible as well, because that's what you got to love this performance. You really do. You want to love it. You don't want to have teams at the moment playing poorly. Well, a win that we saw Western Bulldogs. They were too good in the end. The Bullies just had that hunger in them. I thought that you can say that, okay, well, we're seeing a lot in this team. And Melbourne, they're in a form slump. It's not as bad, but at least that way they've got kids coming through. And you can see what they're trying to do. So, at least with the Bulldogs, and it's a tick. Melbourne, they'll have to sort out their forward line. I don't think Ben Brown should be playing this week. But you see the selection as well on top of that. Adelaide had a really good win against the Hawks in a game that they had to win. But a lot of development comes because of that as well. So what a win by the Crows, as you always see on how a team plays. Now Fremantle were disappointed. They had a good lead, and then all of a sudden Sydney comes back. Buddy Franklin should get suspended for that bump. No doubt about it. But having said that, you know exactly how good the Swans are, in my opinion. Geelong had a thumping win against Richmond. Now Richmond playing the kids, they got 8 of the best 22 out, playing the kids now. I don't think it's a bad thing, I think it's a good thing now. You have to. I mean, you can't just have premiership favourites like Richmond. They aren't that premiership favourites team. Now, what's happened at Hawthorn and Adelaide is that you think he can go again, but it doesn't, quite work out. I think the time's up in playing finals. I don't think that you see more of these games. The dynasty's over for Richmond. We ended it. But having said that, look, they've been a really good, successful team. Geelong's been up there, but their rebuild will have to start soon as well. Because what happens is you're playing too many older players, you get them on the list. If they're all retired at once, you lose a lot of experience. So you have to go through a rebuild. And the Giants got the job done against Essendon, and Essendon didn't score a goal at all for an hour. I think until like second quarter or something. So, look, disappointing Essendon. I picked them thinking they could win, but the Giants were too good in the end, and you can trust on what the systems are as well. So, in the end, it's a good win by the Giants. They're in the top 8. I think the A spot's up for grabs, no doubt on that. But having said that, you see a lot in AFL football. And you see how teams played as well. But we know more, don't we? So, that will be the end of my video. Before I do go, 99 subscribers, 30.9% of yous who have watched my videos unsubscribed. So if you haven't subscribed, please like, comment and subscribe. Collingwood content coming out as well, I promise you that. And you will see more of the talks about it. This is a reset for Collingwood. I didn't ham on too much about the Port Adelaide Collingwood game, but this is a reset. We are playing the kids. We have to play the kids now. Feel like there's a lot of chances happening by playing these kids. I like Poulter, Bianco, and I do like Oliver Henry. I think he's really shown something. Anton Hill, I think, should get a chance. Knowing what we like and want. Play him this week. We'll play Cox this week because it's a big game against the Eagles. And you know what? I'm gonna be dissecting the game on Sunday. You watch. I'll dissect it. I'll talk around my previews on how we should beat West Coast. And we'll probably come out and win. Because that's what we do. You know? So, until next time, like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, everyone. This will be up. And go the Mighty Pies.